here to talk about some of the more recent moves. The first one I'm going to get over with here is the Trevor Siemian trade. And what Denver got was Minnesota's 2019 fifth round draft pick. And what we got were obviously Trevor Siemian and the Broncos' 2018 seventh round draft pick, which is kind of crucial in the sense that we didn't have one before due to Tremaine Brock being traded for last offseason, and now he's a Bronco. So it was kind of nice to. It's almost like we just traded Tremaine Brock for Trevor Siemian, plus giving them our fifth round pick. And then he's going to be a good backup quarterback. I could have told you this a while ago. I should have made a video about this. But I kind of thought this actually had a chance of happening. And here he is. The only reason why I thought it could have a chance is I am here close to Denver. And you saw a lot of qualities that they kind of saw in Case Keenum a bit last offseason when they went and got him as their backup. You have a backup quarterback who has started games. This one's significantly younger, though. And he is experienced, essentially. He's been in the fire. He knows how to handle things. And it's kind of nice to have that, especially if something were to happen to Kirk. You have a guy who you know is not going to ruin your season, essentially. So there's Trevor Siemian. And then the bigger news of the week is, well, I guess the second bigger news of the week is Sheldon Richardson. He signed a one-year deal worth $8 million, and that is eligible to go all the way up to $11 million if he is good on the incentives, which we kind of hope he is in this case. And this could be a major addition, especially if we're talking about just because he's in between Linval and Griffin, and you still got Hunter on the other side. You can't double team him, so he's going to be able to just. He's only going to be asked to just go and pretty much search and destroy. So I'm going to take that he can actually do things freely. And I would assume he can beat guards one-on-one. And because if you're if you're double teaming Richardson, you're leaving one or a lot of them kind of one-on-one on the other side, whether it's Linval, Griffin, or Hunter. So we have ourselves a nice little thing going on here. And so that looking for some more interior pressure this year, which they really needed. Tom Johnson didn't give that to them that much. And in order to make room for this move, they did restructure Murray and cut Jarius Wright to make room for it. And it's sad to see Jarius go. I wouldn't be surprised if they were able to keep him back at a lower cost later in life here. And then per over the cap, Minnesota still has around $25 million cap. Now, take that with a grain of salt, as I was looking for it. The Richardson contract wasn't on there, and Murray's contract wasn't restructured on this website. So we're probably hovering somewhere between 18 and 20 anyway. And here are the remaining Viking free agents that we had last year who may or may not be returning this year. You have Jarius Wright, Terrence Newman, Emmanuel Lemur, Tom Johnson, Berger, Sharif Floyd, who's likely to never play again, Marcus Sherrills, Michael Floyd, who's likely not coming back, Jeremiah Searles, he's on a visit in Carolina, possibly a reunion with Norv Turner there, Bishop Sankey, Shamar Stephen, and Kai Forbath. And among these, some of them I would knock out right away. Emmanuel Lemur, I don't expect him back. With Sheldon Richardson coming back, I don't expect Tom Johnson back. Sharif Floyd's not coming back because he's probably not having his career's kind of in flux. Michael Floyd, no way that happens again. I don't expect Jeremiah Searles back. Bishop Sankey and Shamar Stephen I also don't really expect back. I could see Shamar Stephen possibly, but I saw he had a visit in Detroit, so I'm not sure if he can actually come back. And then Kai Forbath, I do expect that one to eventually get done. And so we move on to a more speculative thing going on here, and which is the players the Vikings could still be interested in. And I have down here on the offensive line, one of my top ones is Austin Howard right now, because he's a starting right tackle. You can put him there. You can move Remmers inside to guard, where he played really well at right guard week 17. And so they showed a willingness to move him to right guard, and you have a starting caliber right tackle, and it could actually work out okay. Because then from left to right, you're looking at Reef, Easton, Elfline, Remmers, Howard. And that's a solid, stable line, and you need to keep the $84 million man alive. So that would be much obliged for me. You have Jack Mewhort, who's second on my list here, which is he's another right guard. He has some injury problems in the past. He's also had some off the field issues, but he's really good when he's healthy. And you might be able to get him on the down low just because of injury concerns plus off the field concerns potentially. So you might be able to get a nice little value with him. Jonathan Cooper, although he's a left guard, I'm not completely sold on Easton just yet. I would like to get some insurance behind Nick Easton, whether that's for actual competing or possibly taking his job or trying to flip one over to the right side, potentially, if we can't find a guy to actually play right guard. It would be nice to have two options there with Easton and Cooper as opposed to Easton and Isadora. Or I guess in that case, it would hopefully be Easton plus draft pick. But after that, you have Joe Berger. The only reason why he's not the first mentioning on this list is because he's very likely to retire, and I assume they will fill this hole before he makes the decision. So Berge could be back. Don't know when. Looks like he's going to retire. I don't think you wait for that decision. And then my last one I would like to mention is Cameron Fleming. He's a younger right tackle, but he was a starter last year for New England after Marcus Cannon got hurt. And so he's in kind of a similar thing to what I said with Austin Howard, just Austin Howard's more proven and more consistent. So there is that. And then the other position I wanted to highlight was the cornerbacks, specifically nickel cornerback. And right now, the only corners that we have on the roster currently, as of tonight, we have Rhodes, Trey Waynes, Mackenzie Alexander, and Horace Richardson. That's all we have. So we really don't have a nickel corner right now because they are kind of toying with. They don't know if Alexander is a nickel or if he's just strictly an outside corner. So there's a chance we have no starting nickel on the roster right now, which is concerning. Now, even though he's 40, Terrence Newman, he is still out there, and you can get him on the down low, I think. I really don't think he's going to be too expensive. And then we go into some of these other ones right here. I really only have 4 here, but the 5th one, you're a familiar name. The second one, though, is Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, and I think he's still a very good corner, or at least a solid corner, and he can play both inside and outside, so it kind of gives you maneuverability if Rhodes had to go inside to play the nickel because he's following a receiver. It's really not the end of the world because you still have a guy who can play the outside. Orlando Scandrick was released today. He's a solid nickel corner, and I would anticipate there are no Zimmer ties here, even though he coached Dallas. Scandrick came after, but I would anticipate they would have some level of interest up there. I would think, once again, solid nickel corner. We don't know if we have a nickel corner on the roster right now. Ross Cockrell, he had a very nice season with the Giants. He's still available, and he had 3 picks last year, I believe, and I think 50 or 60 tackles. He can fit the role pretty well. And then the last guy, although I wouldn't anticipate him playing corner, I would say Marcus Sherrills, because with McKinnon gone, who's returning kicks? If there's no Sherrills, you have to at least bring him back for his kick and punt returning. And until they make some other moves here, I'll see you guys later.